there is something in that apartment building. When I'm telling you, I don't care if you move into a house or an apartment, you cleanse that space in whatever way is culturally appropriate for you. Okay, I hope everyone enjoyed a little bit of sound frequency healing. I do a lot of that now. Mostly, well, anytime during the day and the weekends when I'm home, and definitely in the evenings when I am, well, usually just before bed. I'm sometimes in bed. So I find myself sometimes leaving it literally at the side of my bed. So to try and encourage myself to do it in the morning, but I never really do. I just kind of let my actions and spirituality be guided by intuition, be guided by what I'm told from spirit, whatever download I happen to get. Yeah. So welcome to My Views Extended. This is a podcast where I talk about my physical, spiritual, and mental health journey and growth and whatever else suits my fancy that day, that week. And yeah, so quick update on the sun allergy. If you don't know, I have a sun allergy, and it literally will any part that specific UV, and I haven't really figured out what UV because I haven't been tracking the UV numbers on the day where I have a reaction. But if the UV is too high, whatever part of my skin is exposed to the sun will be affected. And so far it's been my hands and my face, my neck, and part of my décolletage. And I'm right now I haven't had any new eruptions on my hand, which is basically like it comes in like in a form of like a rash or hives, and then they're raised, and then they go down, and then the skin gets really thick and dark, and then I thought by now it would have started peeling, but I think this week it's just starting to peel, and you can kind of see how discolored and hyperpigmented it is, and you can see like the texture change. The skin is really thick and really rough compared to like this part that's not as dark and is not as rough looking texture looking. And it kind of went down into my wrist. And this side, the white spots are an old burn, so ignore the white spots, but you can see like all of the hyperpigmentation. Like look at even my hands, like look how extra, like my hands are not smooth, but they don't look like this. Like the skin is so thick and rough. And so all of that is going to peel off before it'll go back to its regular thinner texture and color. And so I've literally been slathering, because with the skin on my fingers, it started to literally rip. And like even now, every time I wash my hands, because you go wash your hands, like you can't not wash your hands. So my hands are affected even more so than my face. Like, oh yeah, forgot to show you, like you can see all the, you might be able to see like the, rash and the hyperpigmentation, like it's where it's all these dark blotchy bits. That's not normal for me. All those dark blotchy bits, and you can't really see it on my face, but it was like covering. Anyway, so my skin's going through it. Anyway, so when I told my sister, that my skin started splitting on my fingers, she got me this what do you call it? It's Ultra Nourishing Cream, moisturizes and softens dry to very dry hands and nails, Bioderma. So I've been using that first on my skin. So literally, I'll just show you what I do. It's nothing spectacular. So I just rub it in on both sides of my hands. And then, you know what, since we're here, let's do I'll just show you what I do, and I'll have to fast forward as I go grab this, but I'll be right back. So I have smaller containers of this at work, because obviously I'm not bringing these big things to work, but I have shea butter. This is raw shea butter, and I have a big bag of it, and I just put it in smaller containers, so I don't have to dig my hand in the bag and contaminate it. So I just take a little bit of that, put it on the back of my hand, because I'm at my desk all day and I'm typing and stuff. So I don't want my fingers to be as greasy as possible, because shea butter is greasy castor oil, and I just basically use whatever castor oil, 100% castor oil that I can get. That's the best price, and so I'm not loyal to a particular brand. And so I literally, the castor oil and the shea butter, sticky and greasy, but I want to help my skin heal as fast as it can. So I literally will come back from the washroom and after lunch and stuff, my breaks, and I'll literally do this. And because my hands are so parched and unhealed and damaged, that it's shocking how fast my skin will absorb all of this. It's shocking. And then of course you have to make sure that you're super hydrated, drinking lots of water to help with the healing internally. So it literally looks like that. Looks like that. Terrible. Ooh. But it'll absorb. Oh yeah, and then if I have excess on my thing, it's literally at my desk. I'll literally and just put the excess down my neck. Because, yeah, we're not doing hyperpigmentation all summer, because we can't hide it in clothes because it's getting warm. So anyway, that's the update on my skin. I'm not happy, but there's literally nothing I could do. There is a process of basically, there's another term, but basically desensitizing your skin. So literally forcing yourself for like 15, 20 minutes to go in the sun in that part where the UV day is the highest, and basically forcing your body, you'll have reaction, and then every day, keep doing it every day. And then every day it's your body is supposed to react less and less and less and less and less until it stops. So I don't stop myself from going in the sun. I make myself go out on my breaks and for at least half of my lunch and walk around in the sun. And I don't know if it's working because I kind of feel like, I don't think my hands are getting worse, but I'm still, every time I step out, especially at lunchtime, I'm getting a reaction and things are flaring up on my neck and my face. So I don't know how that's working, but what are you going to do? You can only do what you can do. I kind of update, kind of not. I was going through, because I spoke about, we're looking for a place to live, and, moving in Vancouver is not cheap. Like, we're not going to find any 2-bedroom for less than $2,500. That's the lowest. You're not going to find any lower for 2-bedroom. Whether it's 1 or 2 bath, I find depending on the area, it doesn't really make a difference. Whether it's 1 or 2 bedrooms, the price is the price. So of course, if we can get a 2-bedroom, 2 bath, we're going to get 2 baths versus 1, because we have 1 bathroom here and it's horrible. So same price, of course, I'm looking at 2 baths, and I'm feeling like, when you're like between, job searching or hoping that a promotion happens at work and looking for a new place to live and trying to do, all your regular self-care, taking care of yourself. And, it's a lot. And I'm feeling very kind of stagnant in that part of life. I've been saying for the last, since January, I'm like, okay, we got to start, minimizing and clearing out stuff. So, cause we're not certain, the big pieces of furniture, cause we're getting we both are due for new beds. We're not taking our big couch. We're not taking a lot of the smaller, bookshelfy end table things, all that stuff we're not taking. We're getting rid of clothes that we're not wearing. We're just kind of, so when it's time to move, we have as little to move as possible. We're going to sit in our new place for a while before we kind of sit in it as empty and minimalist as possible. And then if we need something, we'll accumulate what we need, but we kind of really want to be as minimal as possible, right? It's just, thankfully, that's both of our aesthetics. The stuff that I'm sitting in right now in my own bedroom, it's irritating my whole spirit. So yesterday I started going through, I got home. Was yesterday? Yeah, yesterday was Saturday. Today's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to those who celebrate Mother's Day. I do not. I am not a mom, and my mom is gone, so I don't celebrate it, but happy Mother's Day to those who do. I guess we will be belated by the time you see this. Anyhow, so I'm going through, and it's getting hot because I had to turn off my fan because it was loud, and now I'm getting hot. I promise I don't have any attention deficit disorder, but I just, sometimes when you have a lot of things to say, you just I want to get it out fast so I don't forget. But anyway, so we're moving, and I started going through my my book collection, my DVD collection, my VH. I guess I do still have VHS. I still have CDs, and I started going through those, and because I already pared down my book collection. I personally believe that you can never have too many books. One of my dreams is to have a library. Wherever I live, I want to have a library. If I don't have a library, I want to have a library or a nook where it's one wall is just covered in books. To me, there's no such thing as having too many books. I love books. I don't have the time to read currently, but I love books. I'm an author, and I love reading. I love writing. I just love you can read somebody's book. And for me, tell me if you're the same. You're reading somebody's book and you're reading it and a whole movie is playing in your mind as you're reading the words. I mean, to me, that's the telltale sign of a great piece of work, artwork, is you're reading the words and you're seeing in your mind's eye, you're seeing a movie play out. So all that to say, I'm not getting rid of my books. I love my books. I have my books and I want more. I have tons of books in my wish list that I want to get. I love a physical copy of a book. Anyway, so I was going through that, dusting off shelves, dusting off the tops of the books had so much dust. I've been neglectful of my bookshelves. And so packed up, and I'm thinking, because I had like a pile of books or a pile of empty boxes in the corner of the living room. And I'm going through and I'm like, oh, all of my medium-sized boxes are almost empty. Because I have a few big ones, which I'm not going to fill with heavy things. The big ones, I'm just going to fill with lighter items. Because I remember twice now, movers have said, we actually prefer that you don't use big boxes. The medium-sized boxes are best. Not the small ones, not the big ones, but medium-sized boxes. I don't know if that's changed, but so I kind of keep that in my mind. So I need some more medium-sized boxes. I have to remember when I get deliveries to keep those medium-sized boxes. So all the books and audio things and some of the audio equipment is packed up in the living room. I have some stuff to pack up in my bedroom still, audio things and some equipment and I think I'm going to, because I have some, the plastic bins. I have the Rubbermaid ones that I'm going to put my record player and my speaker stuff, old school speaker that I had needs a little repair, like the little, not the felt thing where the music comes in, but the little thing where it moves the arm. That needs to get, and I never got that set up here, but I'm not going to bother here. I'm going to wait till we move. So I have to start getting all that stuff set up and start getting rid of stuff out of end tables. And I already got rid of a big dresser a couple years ago. And we don't have a place yet. And this is all this to say, we don't have a place yet, but I feel like if I don't start packing as though we do have a place, that we're never going to have a place. Because it's just like every time we try and make an appointment to have a viewing, they never get back to us in time, or I miss it because I'm like, oh, it's already like 8:00. And then at 9:00 in the night, I'm at work now. I can't come and see it. Like, it's Monday morning. I can't come and see it. And then they're like, okay, well, and it's like, you don't have viewings on the weekend. Can we do an evening viewing? Like, I have to work. I'm not taking off work. Like, I need money to pay this rent. So I can't take a day off to go view an appointment. Like, can you do evening appointments? Can you do weekend appointments? It's just, we just keep missing each other. And I'm getting really frustrated, really anxious because we want out of here. Because like I said, the people, let me say this. People think the spiritual realm, a lot of people think the spiritual realm that it's not a thing. And I can't tell anybody to believe, whether you believe in spirituality, whether you believe in religion, whether you believe in both, whether you believe in nothing, if you're an atheist, I don't care. I really don't. Atheists have been some of the most wonderful, kindest, honest, loyal, ethical people I've ever met in my life. Saying that you are this kind of spiritualist or this kind of religion, belong to this kind of religion, doesn't make you a good person. You are either a good person or you're not. You're a good person. You have good character, you have good morals, you have good ethics, you're a good friend, you're a good partner, etc., etc. You're a good person or you're not. So I don't care about all those titles or lack of titles. That doesn't make you a good person. However, the people, everybody who lives in that building, I mean, in that apartment above us, there is something spiritual going on in that building, in that apartment above us. What I mean, there is something spiritual. When it really started to when it got bad, the person it was the four people back there, 4, 3, 2, 1, the fourth person back. He was not a good person to begin with. He was just not a good person. And then he got into drugs and he became a full-blown drug addict. He was threatening our lives. Like, he was threatening to kill us. Police were called. Because I was like, oh. Like, oh, now you're threatening to kill us, and I'm going to kill you and kill your family, and like that bad in his drug. But I don't really think it's just drugs. I think that's kind of who people were, but the drugs allowed all that to come out. But I also truly believe that when you are under, and I believe this for a long time because I have a history I grew up around a lot of people, of addicts, whether they were drugs or alcohol or both, intimately. And so I am if you do not have a hold of your addiction, if your addiction if you're not in recovery, you cannot be a part of my life. You cannot be a part of my life. I will not live in that if you're my friend, if you're my partner, if you're my parent, if you're my sibling. I cannot live with an addict. I can't do it. Can't do it. And I will not do it. It's not a matter of can't. I will not do it. Anybody who's grown up with addicts, you can recognize just how their speech pattern, how they answer questions, how they don't answer questions, even how they walk. Like, it's just, you can tell an addict or a former addict. It's shocking how you can tell a former addict. I've been clean for 10 years. I can still tell. Because I have a spiritual belief. And I know other people will agree with me and know exactly what I'm talking about. And that's one of the goals of my life. I've never been a heavy drinker. I've never imbibed in anything other than the green herb before. And I really don't anymore. Like, if I did, I would do like an edible occasionally here and there. But I really don't do that anymore. And that's kind of my goal, to not even really do alcohol, because I really feel that it messes with your energetic frequencies. I'm going to sound really hoo-ha, and I'm trying not to sound new age-ish, because I think a lot of these new agey terms drive me nuts. But I feel that they mess with your energy. They mess with your connection to spirit. It clouds it. It's really hard to break through. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, I do microdosing, or I do mushrooms, I do psychedelics, and it gets me in touch with spirit. Okay. I don't agree, but okay. If it works for you, it works for you. But I personally feel that I don't think that that is a way to truly get in touch and grow spiritually, to get in touch with spirit, to get in touch with, if you do ancestor worship, if you speak with your guardian angels, I don't really think that that's a way to do it, but that's just my personal opinion. You don't have to agree with me. I'm not asking you to agree with me. I'm just saying that I don't think that that's a good way to do it. And I know that a lot of people, that's part of their culture to do that. A lot of shamanistic, I believe is a proper term, practices do plant medicines and psychedelics and so on to get in touch with the spirit realm. I'm not talking about those kind of cultures. Which people are like, I don't know. And then I just take a mushroom and, I can see colors. Okay. Be careful is all I'm saying. Because when you're doing a lot of, you start off doing, I'm just doing recreational drugs, whether it's mushrooms or LSD or I don't know, whatever things they have, man-made stuff. You're doing all these things and go from recreational and now you're a full-blown addict, and that lowers it basically puts cracks in your aura, and bad things, whether they're demonic, whether they're entities, whether people are sending things to you, because I truly believe, and I know that people can send, whether it's sending in bad wishes, bad luck, bad intentions towards you so you don't have success, so that you stay in your addiction, so that you don't have any kind of happiness, possibly worse. When your senses are down, bad entities can get in and attach to you. Like a lot of, and I know other cultures have this too, like a lot of like West Indian people, I'll just speak about Guyanese and Jamaicans, like the Guyanese will say that somebody has a rum jumbie. And if you don't know what a jumbie is, a jumbie is basically like it's a spirit or a demon. Basically, when somebody says you have a rum jumbie, that's basically you are an alcoholic. And this thing is always calling you to drink and act out a character, and like how they, spirits. I mean, we all know like spirits, they call alcohol spirits, and spirits are literally entities, demonic entities taking over you. Like you hear people like, they're the sweetest person, but when they drink, they turn into a demon. They turn into this horrible person, and they're destructive and they're abusive and they hurt me. And not saying that those characteristics aren't already in the person, but those entities and those demons can encourage this thing that's already in there to come out and play. And so that human side of you is like, I know I shouldn't do that. And now you have this demon or this entity influence you to go do it, go drink, go abuse people, go create chaos and havoc. And not saying that I was ever a person who drank so much that I became a bad person. But like, even because I know a lot of people who are alcoholics and drunks, and they became very calm and docile, and they would just sit in the corner and be quiet. But then their mouth is loose. And everything that they would never share with anyone, they're sharing all their business with everybody. They're sharing everybody else's business with everybody. All the deep, dark secrets and their true thoughts and emotions and feelings about situations come out when that alcohol or those drugs loosen their tongue. If you want to imbibe, but just do it with caution and do it in moderation. And, if you feel yourself or people are mentioning, you're kind of changed, you became really kind of nasty, maybe it's time to pull back just a little bit, just pull back a little bit. So anyway, back to upstairs. When he was here, he would go on these, rampages, like 36 48-hour raging rampages of screaming at the top of his lungs and throwing furniture. Would hear his body fall to the ground and hear him moan, ow, ow. Like he would throw himself into walls, throw himself into the floor, his drug addiction brought something in. And when he left, and I made sure to watch him leave because he terrorized us. He left an emaciated, empty shell of a young man. He lost so much weight and looked so bad. He looked like a completely different person. He looked like death. He couldn't even hold his head. Whatever entity was influencing him is in that apartment. You can call me crazy. Every single young man, and I shouldn't even say that, and the women too that are coming with them, the same chaotic behavior in the second, the third, and now the fourth. They're pacing all hours of the day and night, stomping, screaming at the top of their lungs, raging for hours. Hours overnight. There is something in that apartment building. When I'm telling you, I don't care if you move into a house or an apartment, you cleanse that space in whatever way is culturally appropriate for you. And if you don't know, but you believe, ask. Somebody will let you know what you can do to cleanse that space. And cleanse it from top to bottom, every cupboard, every closet, every doorway, every window. In whatever way is culturally, spiritually, religiously appropriate for you. Spaces carry energy. And this is one of the reasons why I say, because people laugh at me when I say I don't like used houses. And I said that and I didn't even think it. And somebody started laughing and they're like, I've never heard heard somebody say a used house. And I was like, but it is used. It's a used home. And especially apartments, obviously apartment buildings, condos have more turnover than a detached home. There's more turnover. You're living in a building with hundreds of people. Even if you live in a high rise with thousands of people, and the people are coming in and out every month, people are in and out, and all their energy is staying in that apartment. All their energy, all of their happiness, all of their sorrow, their joy, their distress, their depression, their sadness, their pain. People are bringing in their religious practices. People are bringing in their spiritual practices, whether those practices are good or evil. And they're leaving a print. Buildings hold energy prints. They hold entities. They hold demons. And people are going to be like, oh, you crazy. Okay. But I've lived long enough to know. I've experienced these things firsthand. When I'm telling you there is something in that apartment building and it is influencing every person that moves into that apartment, what I mean, the pattern is so much the same that we would swear that it is the same person living there. And it's new people. What I mean, the pattern of the pacing, of the stomping, of the screaming, of the ranting, of the throwing furniture, of them literally working themselves into a rage that you hear their physical body being slammed into furniture and floors. That is not normal. It's not normal. They are being influenced by something. We got to get out of here. We got to get out of this place. Because I, frankly, am tired of my sleep being disrupted because of whatever bullshit is going on in that apartment. I'm tired of it. It's been 4 years. And these building managers have the audacity to sit there. You're going to get a notice to leave if you keep complaining about noise. Yeah, that's not legal. You can't throw somebody out for complaining about noise. Especially when you have made zero effort to come down and say, oh, let's listen to the noise that you're hearing. They've been invited for the last 4+ years to come and listen for yourself, and they do not even acknowledge it. They do not acknowledge the invitation because they don't want to deal with it. You know that it's illegal, and I know you're watching. You know that it's illegal. You cannot throw someone out for noise complaints. Anyway, I found this great book, and this podcast turned out to be something that I did not think it was going to be. I planned on talking about some other things, but I always pray and ask Creator to guide me on what I should speak about, and this is apparently what this week's podcast has turned out to be. So I wanted to end with, I was packing, even though we haven't found a place yet, I'm packing as though we have found a place because it helps my spirit. It helps me feel better. It helps me feel not so distressed and distraught that, I come from a stressful job and, I want to be able to, I will come home to a home that is quiet and peaceful and the sound barriers are intact so I can actually enjoy the expensive place that I live in. So anyway, I was going through books and I found this great book that I really haven't had time to look at lately. And it's by Horace Jackson Brown. And he is now, he's no longer here. He passed away in 2021 and he's an American author. And he basically is known for his this is his most inspirational book, the Life's Little Instruction Book. And it's basically, it was created when his son was going away to college or university, and he kind of wanted to write him, things in life that will kind of help him cope, help him be a good human being, help him grow into a good, kind, caring adult. And then it started, I guess it became a bestseller and all this stuff. So, and there's in this one, it's 3 volumes. And I just wanted to go over read a few things. And I think if I remember, and it's not packed away, I'm going to try and read a few of these little life lessons. And it's basically fatherly advice, fatherly advice entries. So, the first one is compliment 3 people every day. And I find myself, it's really easy to, I do not compliment people 3 times a day, but I find myself at least once a week, I'm complimenting somebody. And I've made this just something to do just to make people feel better. I mean, who doesn't like to be complimented? Even if you're uncomfortable, it's kind of like, oh, that was nice. So whether it's I see somebody got a great haircut or they're wearing their hair a little differently, or they have a great outfit, they have a nice style, aesthetic, great pair of shoes. I'm at work and, they figured out something and I'm like complimenting somebody. Oh my gosh, you're so brilliant, whatever it is. And at least once a week, I find myself complimenting people on something. And I think that's a really good thing. And I don't know if I can compliment 3 people a day, but I will definitely still continue to compliment a person at least once a week. Oh, number 3, watch a sunrise at least once a year. And that's a great idea. As I was thinking about this, I have not watched a sunset or sunrise in a long time. I've been commuting to work, and you're either just really tired, or you're so into what you're going to be doing for the day, or you're just in your head. All of a sudden it would be dark, and all of a sudden it's light, and it's like, I didn't even notice that transition. So I think that's a great thing. I remember when I was younger, I absolutely used to watch sunsets, watch sunrises, and I'm up early enough. I'm up early enough so I can absolutely watch the sunrise, but I just never do. And that's a great idea, to watch some sunsets. It's just a moment to kind of reflect, and yeah, just time to reflect and just be still, be at peace, be in the moment, which I am oftentimes not in the moment. I am really good at lately at not going so much in the past, unless I'm, obviously recalling a story, but I'm very much I'm too much in the future still. So yeah, I think that's a great opportunity, at least once a day, to just purposely be in the moment. Let's see. Let's do 5. Let's do, be the first to say hello. I think I'm pretty good at that. Most of the time. Again, if I'm in my head, I may not be the first to say hello, but I try and say hello, good morning first. And I think I mentioned this before too, that, especially I find with a lot of older people, because a lot of older people are kind of become invisible to society. And so I find myself, especially if they're alone, saying good morning or hello first, and you instantly see their face like change, like, oh, they're recognizing me. Oh, they're saying good morning. I mean, occasionally you'll get somebody who just completely like, or maybe they didn't hear you. I don't know. But like 99% of the time, like their face completely changes. They smile, their eyes light up, they say good morning back. And it's like, so I definitely try my best to, most of the time, not always, but most of the time, say hello, good morning first. So that was 3, right? So number 23, floss your teeth. Oh Lord, floss your damn teeth. Not only is it good for dental health, it's good for internal health. Because if your teeth are jacked up, or not jacked up, because straight teeth doesn't mean jacked, not clean. If your teeth are not healthy and your gums are not healthy, you have gingivitis, periodontal disease, there's a good chance that internally, especially your heart, is not okay. So floss your teeth, floss your teeth, floss your teeth. And if you don't floss your teeth in the morning and during the day, please make sure to floss your teeth before bed, so all those food particles are not sitting in between your teeth overnight. And one more for this week. What are we going to do? Interesting. 29, teach some kind of class. It's amazing how this teaching thing keeps coming up. Because I always said that I never wanted to be a teacher because these kids are bad. These elementary school and high school, middle school. Because I think I would be good at it, but to teach at the level that I would need to teach at, I would have to go back to school and at least get my master's to be able to teach in a post-secondary education, at a post-secondary, can I speak? To teach at a post-secondary educational level. Wow. Wow, the brain. Anyway, teach some kind of class. I have thoughts on what I would like to do at some point in the future, not anytime soon, because there's so many things to settle in life and get going first. But yeah, interesting. Teach some kind of class. That'd be interesting. If you take out the bad kids and the bad pay, take out the bad kids and the bad pay, if those, if you could guarantee to have a good crop of students and good pay, what would you teach and why? The conditions are right, because we all know these teachers do not get paid enough money. These teachers, especially if it's not a private schools are a little more tame, but yeah, these kids, like, I remember I was talking about something at work, and some of these kids were so bad in my high school. Like, it wasn't my personal teacher, but or did I have her once before? I think I had her and she went on. This woman had a nervous breakdown like 4 times in my entire time I was in high school. And I believe her husband had one once, and there was at least 2 more teachers. One was in elementary school and another one in high school had nervous breakdowns. They weren't my teachers, but it's like, is it the kids or is it you? That's what I want to know. Is it you're not coping outside of life and then the kids are making it worse? Or the kids are just making it worse because they're so bad? Because I know a lot of us are struggling, like in our regular everyday jobs, to like get to work and stay at work and then come back the next day, because it's literally sending you a little crazy, whatever your working conditions are. Oof. Not pray for people. Pray for people. Just pray that everybody can continue to go to their job, can continue to pay their bills, that they can continue, that if you're feeling so hopeless and lost that you don't wake up in the morning and dread going to work, that when you lay down at nighttime, that you're not like, I'm so happy to go to sleep that I don't have to think about my job, but you're so stressed because you're worrying about your next day. I want everybody to, including myself, I want everybody to find happiness, whether you find happiness in your job, in your career. I want you to find happiness in your home, because your home should be your sanctuary. To find peace in your friendships, in your relationships, in whatever title you have in life: parent, partner, employee, employer, teacher, whatever you do. I don't know how, but we need a shift. Anyway, this is a great, cute little book. I don't know if I'm going to assume that it's on. I'll see if I can link it. Sometimes these older books you can read them for free. But I'll see if I can link it. But it's a really great book, so I'm going to try and see if I can link, remember to read a few more every week, or maybe I'll even try and do, actually no, I was going to maybe do it in the community post, but I don't know, we'll see. I'll try and find a way to somehow put it on the YouTube in the video, at the end of the video, something. This is Horace Jackson Brown Jr., Life's Little Instruction Book. Thank you so much for watching. This is My Views Extended. I'm your host, Nadia, and this is a podcast where I talk about my physical, spiritual, mental health journey and growth and anything else that suits my fancy. As you can tell, this week I just went on a little, I just went where spirit told me to go. And I think I enjoyed it. So it's a little longer one this week. Enjoy. If you're watching, or if you just want to put it on the background and just listen to my voice and not see my big head, just let it play. Please don't forget to thumbs up the video, share the video, leave a comment. Constructive criticism is amazing, but please don't be rude. And all those avenues are free to share and help this podcast grow. I will see you in the next time. Thank you so much for watching. You are appreciated.